Yo, Shortbox Nation, you are now tuned into episode 254. I'm your host, Botter Milligan. This week's episode is a one-on-one interview for once-in-a-lifetime, actually focused, Ryan Paul Thompson, founder of the video game themed culture company GAAM, Game Arts and Music. We covered his latest trip to E3 with the GAAM team and really went into detail about what it takes to apply, plan, and be successful at a colossal event like E3. E3 has been the premier trade event for the video game industry since 1995. Interesting fact about this episode, it was originally a Patreon exclusive, but we felt this interview was extremely insightful and we wanted to showcase the type of content we're creating for our Shortbox patrons. So, if you enjoyed this episode and want more like it, we have about 13 unreleased episodes available on our Patreon page right now. Check it out for yourself at patreon.com/theshortbox. We have a few options for different budgets if you're interested in supporting the show with your dollars in exchange for merch and bonus content. Want to support the show but don't have the funds right now? Tell a friend or that special nerd in your life to subscribe to the Shortbox on their favorite podcast app. Word of mouth is extremely helpful in growing our audience and reach. You can also find us on social media posting news, show updates, and everything in between by searching the Shortbox Jacks. And don't forget to buy your ticket for this year's annual GAAM show before the prices go up. The award-winning gaming, art, and charity events theme this year is Space and includes celebrating popular space-themed franchises like Star Wars, Metroid, Halo, and more. The party takes place Saturday, August 17th. Save 10% on your ticket purchase before the prices go up by using the code SHORTBOXGAM. Tickets can be purchased on gam.eventbrite.com. A special shout out to Ryan and the E3 GAAM team of Ann, Renzo, Lee, and Anna. And with these shameless GAAM plugs out of the way that I'm not getting paid for, let's go ahead and start this episode right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Shortbox.
Yo, Shortbox Nation, and specifically, once again, our Shortbox patrons out there. This will be an exclusive for you guys first. I am sitting here with Ryan Paul Thompson, the founder of GAAM, and my mortal arch nemesis, aka Gary, the Gary Oakes of my life.
Charles, your ways will never work. Never.
Yo, man, I ain't gonna lie. While you were doing your thing, and while I was doing my thing at Heroes Con, I was really proud to see you and your team doing your thing at E3.
You did something at Heroes Con?
Yeah, just a little something, just a little something. I'm trying to get my name on the map. But no, man, I was really proud to see you once again at E3. But I mean, it's kind of like a common thing for you at this point, right?
Yeah, I'm the old man now, so like it's kind of it's a regular thing. But it's cool. Like, this was honestly my favorite E3 trip that I've ever had.
All right, well, there goes two of my questions.
Oh, my bad. And so that's it. As usual, another underperforming Shortbox episode.
Yo, glad we got our consistency. That's key. That's what I tell all these kids nowadays. No, man. So, I mean, it's no secret. I don't got as much free time to dedicate to video games and keeping up with like video game news like I used to. Because I mean that used to be the thing. I actually had time and money to buy video games, catch up on IGN and all the various other news outlets. I know, man, back when it was like really good. Game Informer magazines.
What's on this new issue of Game Pro? Francis Mayo still can't draw? That's interesting.
Man, so in a ways,
Street Fighter now, incidentally.
In a ways, I look to GAAM and I look to the GAAM fan.
Well, that's sad.
Yeah, I really could have better options, but but I look to GAAM and your team for keeping me up to date with video games and aware of what's going on. And one of the most beneficial things is the fact that you do go to E3 every year. And last year we kind of started our first treating you as our unofficial Shortbox E3 correspondent. And I think last year's episode was really good. I think last year
every episode I'm on is good. Those are your best
debatable.
episodes.
Very debatable. Actually, they're
most
the lowest
viewed episodes.
Actually, the lowest.
That
played.
is not true. You're using the wrong rating.
Metrics.
If you're using Google Analytics,
Well,
you would know.
I mean, in all honesty,
You got to stop using the freeware version. It doesn't tell you the real facts.
In all honesty, I did go to a Duval school, so my math is terrible.
That's probably
it's just as
what
bad
it
as my
is.
pronunciation.
It's Common Core. That's what the problem is.
But last year's episode did really well.
You told me to stroke this,
You
right?
had no,
You said
please don't.
No,
No, I
okay.
don't want to hear the sound of you stroking. But last year's episode went really well. You actually called from E3. I forgot. I think it was like the last day you were going to a conference or something, but you took some time out. So I wanted to talk again about this year's E3 because it seemed like this one made a little more news. I saw a little more on social media, a little more headlines from the stuff coming out of E3 this year, and I thought I'd pick your brain. So I guess we'll start out with anyone that's not aware of the kind of history you got with E3. This is what E3 visit number.
It's like 9 or 10.
Damn,
It's been a while.
there's people that probably won't ever go to E3, and you over here just like willy nilly
No,
going
I mean
to E3.
it's always a big deal. Like I look forward to it every year.
So the excitement's still there for you?
Definitely. Because you never know what you're going to see. Plus, I like just adventuring, like especially if you ask the team. I just like trying to find random weird stuff to do. Look, I'm watching my language now so we don't get flagged. We're both trying to get that money.
You are stupid.
But,
yeah, because Patreon would be like, you said you weren't, you were safe for work, buddy. But so there's still a level of excitement for you.
Yeah.
Even though you're what? You said seven in?
It might be 10. Like I had something pop up
God, I
this
can't even
year.
remember.
I had something pop up this year in like my news feed, like memories from 2010. Do you remember like being in E3? I'm like, oh yeah, that's when the company I worked with was still in business. But yeah, it's been at least since 2010. I want to say 2009.
How much planning goes into for you personally? We could talk about the team, but I mean for you personally, how much planning goes into getting ready for E3? I mean, how far out are you applying? Are you starting to kind of put together the goals and things that you want to do?
Yeah, we probably start planning E3 maybe around, I would say like around 6 months out.
Wow.
Just usually that's when I try to start assembling who from the team would be a good fit to go. And more importantly,
what attributes do you look for as far as for
can I
candidates?
stand hanging out with you for more than 5 minutes?
It's a joke, but that sounds real
to it.
Yeah.
It's like you go 1 year, like Ryan, why don't you invite me back? Because I don't like spending time with you.
There's someone listening right now, like, yo,
I don't care. It's not a
That's
secret. I'll say it to their faces, like, no,
okay,
not again. But no, honestly, I think people who can get the most out of it, like people that I think will be inspired, people who genuinely work like at what we do at GAAM. Like there's some people that help out tremendously. Like they're constantly like trying to do more with GAAM. And I think those people should be rewarded, I guess, so to speak. So it's like figuring that out from the beginning. And then it usually trickles down to who can actually go. And then there's like a whole application process, get everybody's credentials in order, trying to find like where we're going to stay, how many people can that fill.
and that credentials process is pretty thorough. Because you had sent it to me as an example to see what's going on. And I was like, man, they're asking for a lot. I mean, there's a lot of like, go to this site next. But speaking about the team, who went with you this year?
So this year it was Anne, Miss Valentine, who she works.
Yeah, I was going to say
anybody.
I was going to say when you brought up, you want to bring someone that will be motivated and inspired by it. I don't think there's anyone I could think of better than Anne, because she's one of those folks that, like a member of the GAAM fam, that I know her opinion on video games is based on like solid experience.
She's legit.
She is like mad legit, and and it's really dope to have really strong female voices in the video game community like that.
Oh, without a doubt. And it's weird. Like most of GAAM,
because it's so easy to like look at.
Is female, to be honest. Like women get it done. Like I'm almost like if you look at like the most.
So you were smart enough to realize women get it done. Like just have a team full of women and it'll get done.
I wish I was that smart. It just came down to like we were trying to get things done and who actually stuck it out and would make it happen.
No, Anne was a great choice. I mean, just from
she called people out left and right. Like we go to to the Gears panel and she's like, nope. So this is the character from so and so. This person, this is canon. Like, oh, I love that. This who hurt you so? Like, she knows. Like,
Yo,
when,
and
like,
that's the thing I like about her
characters
is that
change.
she's not afraid to shit talk.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
it's usually like when you think shit talking.
It's not that she's
like
not
gamers,
afraid. It's that she loves to do it.
Yeah, that
There's
helps.
the
That too. But it's so it's the stereotype is like a bunch of neckbeards arguing,
Yeah.
online playing video games. But she's not afraid to like get her hands dirty
Oh,
and
not
like
at all.
call you out.
So like this one dude at the can we go into stories? I don't want to jump forward.
no, come
here.
on, bring it on.
So they were gonna have a Gears panel on the first day before E3 actually kicked off. So before E3 kicks off, there's a multitude of events. Like there's a Coliseum events now where they do panels. Microsoft has their thing happening. I think EA has like 3 days before E3 even kicks off. All this stuff going on. So they're doing a panel on Gears, and a bunch of the voice actors are up there and they're asking questions. And they ask the crowd like, "Hey, do you have any questions for the people here?" And this one guy raises his hand, and they go up to him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'd like to know the sexual preference of Kate," or something like that. And like everybody's just like, "Are you serious, dude?" And even like the guy one of the main voice actors called him out. I was like, "Are you seriously asking that?" He's like, "Ugh," like right at the guy. And we're all glad he got ripped. But as soon as that happened, Ann goes, "Oh no, I'm asking a question now. I'm asking a question."
Yeah, you need something
You
to
better
follow up with
ask
that.
me a question. And like she was ready to go, like no fear whatsoever.
So you had Anne. Who else you had
Mhm.
on your team?
Lee was there.
Cool.
Uh,
Which I think we talked about how I have vastly underestimated how
Yeah.
official Lee is in these like in the gaming and just game. industry.
especially fighting game community, especially
Yeah.
esports.
I just thought
Lee-
that she took really dope picks. I didn't know that she was
no.
like traveling and this was like a definite
her
like,
hustle is
significant
real.
hustle, man.
Like she literally is going in and out of town all the time, just trying to like if there's a significant esports event, Lee will probably be shooting at it.
Cool.
And people will know that it's Lee. People want to cosplay as Lee at events because she's so renowned at this point.
She's dope. So Anne, Lee, who
Uh-huh.
else?
Renzo.
Word, Renzo,
And
the man.
Renzo, yeah. Renzo is like
Renzo's like the Donatello now to me.
he's
like
kind of like the Donatello, and like anything you need, he'll just like be able to help you with it.
He's like the Donatello meets the hustler kid from the show Recess. Like he just
God.
he's like fucking brilliant, and he just happens to have like shady underworld like just connections.
Yeah.
Yo, Lee, I need Renzo, I need this, and he's like, I think I got you.
Yo,
give me 2 days.
We're talking about doing like some other like apparel stuff, and Renzo goes, "So like I can get this made next time I go to Peru. Like I have a family there, and I'll go pick it up." And I'm like, "When are you going to Peru? Are you going this year?" "Well, no, but like I can send it off and get it done." I'm like,
Yo,
that's cool, man.
But you need that resource. You
I
need
do.
that guy, man. And Renzo is just the coolest too.
He's super chill. He always has my back. Renzo will help anybody. Like he's a super good guy.
Okay.
And then Anna was there as well, and she shined this trip. Like she went into it not really being the biggest gamer, but she always helps out a ton during events. And
So what was the decision like to get her on board knowing that she wasn't really a
I
gamer?
think when I was going through like the analytics of things, the biggest determining factor was she was Renzo's girlfriend.
Okay.
So that really helped determine that. But no, she's so much more than that. She honestly is, and she definitely showed that. She's always been somebody who works hard.
Mm-hmm.
She's always asked if we needed help. She's always been like a pleasure to be around. So having her in the trip, I was like, oh, I get along fine with Anna. She's cool. Like whenever she like, comes to help, she really comes to help. But I didn't realize just how significant a help she would be, because once she got there, and then she started seeing what the rest of the landscape is and what other positions and opportunities there are for women in gaming, and meeting people, and like not just, hey, I'm a game designer, I'm a game developer. It's like, no, guess what? There's financial people, there's accountants,
You know what, man?
there's HR.
And that's the same thing with like comic books too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people just get stuck on either you're a writer or you're an artist, but it's like
There's so many people
an
that
editor,
need-
there's
Uh-huh.
a PR team, there's etc. So that's cool that you've highlighted that too. And I'll give a compliment to GAAM that I've always kind of enjoyed this particular facet of it is it's a family thing in the sense of it almost seems that everyone in the GAM fam team, if they have a significant other or a spouse, they're involved in GAM. You know, like GAM seems to have the.
Hey, we're trying to change that policy. That's how. Well, okay. Yes. And I'll only pause because I've realized the error of my own ways in doing this. So typically, I try to be as welcoming as possible. And I think anytime you have a spouse or significant other, that person is also making a sacrifice in terms of the support and commitment. Because a lot of times we're building stuff until like maybe 3 or 4 in the morning, or it's like another weekend where we're all together working on things, crafting things, or planning, what have you. And that means it's time away from that other person.
Yeah.
So when that other person is willing to jump in on that commitment too, I try to be respectful and honor that. But at the same time, now that we've been doing this for a while, I have to now be the bad guy and say, hey, before you bring somebody, like we're grateful for your significant other, and when we do like appreciation type events, we would definitely like to include them. But when we're working on stuff, we now try to go like, hey, are they here to actually work on stuff too, or they
just spend time with
them? Yeah, because we try to divide that up now, because now, and you've seen it happen like on like your day job, when you have people there who aren't part of the process of moving forward, when you have like bystanders around, it slows down the entire process. And so we've had to be a little bit, it sucks to even say that. That's why we try so hard to include them on the things that aren't involved in process and creation.
No, and I appreciate you sharing that, because it's realistic. Some at the surface level, it's like, oh man, that's a good problem to have. It's like GAM is getting so big that people are bringing their spouses.
Yeah, it's a bad problem.
It is a relevant problem, because it could cause production being slowed down, like you brought up.
It's even like getting free stuff. Like a lot of times, we'll have people from the community that'll be like, hey, I've got this stuff. I'll just drop it off and GAM can use it. And I'm like, I would love that, but let's talk about it first, or I try to bring them down some. Like, hey, let me see if we have space for it, or if this is the right fit for the event. Because if it's not the right fit, then, okay, crap, we got to store more stuff. Or 2, some people, not all, but some people feel like the second that they give you something at that point, you're indebted now. And it's like, oh yeah, I gave you that pin one time, so
now I'm in it. I'm in GAM.
I got VIP tickets, right? And can I borrow your car? I'm like, wait, I almost said the B word, but I'm on Patreon. It's like this whole other stuff goes with it. Not everybody is like that. Some people just genuinely want to help, and obviously when people help, I want to be able to give back to them. Be like, oh, thanks for helping us. Here's so and such. But it's one of those problems that just happen. It just comes with growth. It's growing pains.
So have you been to E3s by yourself before? Aside from the obvious benefit of having a team there, such as being able to cover more ground, was there anything specifically that this team this year helped you out with, or you benefited from having this team?
One, this team knows how to hunt down some swag. Holy crap. We got a good haul this year.
Yeah, we're from Duval. We smell free stuff. I know. Like we can just hone in on it.
There's that, but also I can't go into all of it, but we were able to secure like additional meetings.
Cool.
Because of like contacts and stuff from the team. I'd say they were really good about that. They were great about networking on their own. Like they were coming back with their own cards, and contacts and whatnot. And I'll say with this team in particular, I'll be somewhat of a sensei for a second. It's great when you have people around you that motivate you and that make you the better version of you. And this team definitely did that. Like I felt like I could do more. Like I didn't, sometimes you hit those lows, but then when you have that right person, it's like, oh yeah, brings you back up. Like, yeah, I can do this now. Let's go. Let's do this. Like
sometimes you get so stuck in your head, because you're so close to it, and you're like, man, this isn't going anywhere.
Yeah,
but all you need is that someone to be like, man, you've made it so far. Like that extra pep. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So if you had a list of, let's say, 10 things you wanted to accomplish from E3, how many of those things do you think you knocked out?
I would say probably like 7 or 8 this year.
Okay.
Where normally I probably would say like a 5 or a 6.
So when it comes to like talking or setting up meetings with whatever, just gonna throw out a name like a Capcom or a Nintendo or whatever vendors may be there. Is
like a Bandai Namco. Not saying that happened.
Oh, but
oh yeah,
so
on audio you don't know.
For Comic Cons, right?
Once I can be.
A lot of times it'll be as simple as just the day of the convention. You can go to a writer or artist, you know, chat it up, set up a meeting that way for a later whatever podcast or whatever it may be. When it comes to dealing with these organizations that show up at E3, is there any? Are you contacting them before, or are you just kind of doing
typically before? So the successful meetings will typically happen before, and you need to plan those out much farther in advance. And this year there was problems because they used to have their own system in which you could book meetings, kind of like their own version of Outlook, where you could get in and work off people's schedules, so you're not double booking and all that kinds of stuff. I'll also do cold calling. Like I'll just go up to a desk and I'll do like my elevator pitch. Like, hey, I'm Ryan. My name is Ryan. I'm from GAAM. I work with like this gaming charity art organization in Jacksonville, Florida. We influence like X amount of like gamers per year. This is how many impressions we get. This is what we do for charity. We've done this stuff with accessibility. Here's how I think it would be impactful and work well with your brand and your games. Is there anybody I can talk to? And I'll like show them pictures and videos. And I try to just get it done as fast as possible and hit like the points that I think are relevant to them. And a lot of times they'll be like, that sounds interesting. Let me, here's a
Get
card.
you a check in finance.
There you go, yeah. Like they'll say, so go around and you'll talk to this person. And usually that's when I'm like, oh, so what's your name? So at least when I go to the next person, I'm like, yeah, so Tom said I should talk to Tom.
I throw him underneath the bus.
Yeah.
Tom said you can actually get me a job here.
Yeah. So me and Elon were talking the other night. You know, we were driving around town, not like actually driving because who does that? The robot did it. And we were wondering.
Okay. What's when you look back at your years of E3 experience, is there that? What's still like the biggest? I guess like letdown or just great white whale that got away. Was there like that one organization or partner that you wanted to work with that just you weren't there yet? I'm sure maybe in your earlier days.
Every day. For the longest time, it was Capcom. I just couldn't get Capcom. And I couldn't get Capcom. And like every single time I was this close, like I'd be within like a few feet of like Ono. That's the guy who like does Street Fighter 4 and all that stuff. There'd be either be another meeting and I'd get pulled away, or whoever my contact was like wouldn't be at the desk or where I could get to them at one point. But then we finally got through on that, and that's how we got like a lot of the Street Fighter stuff, like the signed faceplates, and like they threw us a bunch of Mega Man and Resident Evil stuff and whatnot. I've been wanting to work with Bandai Namco for like the longest time.
So, all right, help me out. When you say you want to work with these companies, it's not. I imagine getting the freebie stuff is cool. I mean, that's definitely something worthy to brag about. But like with talking with Bandai Namco, what does a partnership look like?
Usually,
in GAAM?
With GAAM, it's usually involvement more so from the charity side. My goal is to get artwork, preferably signed artwork, if not original, like a print, but something unique, to bring back to Jacksonville, and then have that auction to raise money for charities. That's like my primary objective. And then my secondary is like, okay, if a company is a good fit, are there any games coming out that maybe we could demo or preview or give away at the event? Like that's how we had Gentle Jousting. That's how we had that one game, Inflatality. We had that game at GAAM before it came out. Remember we had Agents of Mayhem before that was like on street release. Like that Volition actually came down and demoed it before that game was released. So that's like a secondary or tertiary objective. My first objective is always what's going to be best for the charity portion of this. That's where I want companies involved. Like now I'm starting to shift because of doing Gladiators, where now I'm also looking at, okay, who can be involved from the esports perspective. But the art's always like the closest part to me. And so that's always been primary.
So help me out. Day one, E3, you guys, probably landed the day before?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I want to take our listeners on this visual journey as well. You're whatever. You got your Uber. It just dropped you off at the convention center.
Uber. Let me talk to you about limo life, dear.
GAAM life, baby. Damn, I don't know. Okay.
So we get the cheapest segways we can find.
And you guys all cram on
just
one.
on one. It's like stacked shoulder, butt, shoulder, butt, shoulder, butt.
So you guys arrive at the convention center. Play by play. How does a day one at E3 look like?
So first day at E3, it won't even start yet. We'll just go. We'll register, get our passes, all that kind of stuff. Day one, when the E3 is actually going on, I try to take the team to the opposite hall of the main hall. I don't remember if that's the south or the west hall. Because almost all the crowd always goes to that big main hall. All the pictures you always see of like, here's all the stuff going on in the lobby and these giant things. Yeah, that hall is always backed up when it first, because everybody's lined up there. So you take the side hall, you just like, 2 minutes, you walk right in. Walk in, and then normally I like to do like a lap to show them kind of like the landscape. Like, here's what's being set up in this hall, and then here's what's set up in the other hall.
Is it usually the same? I mean, does it ever drastically change the layout?
Well, it changed a lot this year because of Sony not being there. But overall, the layout stays more or less the same. Like Square Enix typically has one area. Capcom has a certain area. Atlas used to have an area. They moved out this year. Nintendo definitely has a certain spot. But at least when you've never been to a trade show like that before, because it's very different. It's similar to a con, but very different at the same time. Because once you start seeing, okay, here's all the different booths, and then you're seeing, okay, it's not just a booth like to play a game. Here's the media area. Here's the area where you check in for business stuff. These people are saying, okay, I got to play games for X amount of time to get stuff. Here are lines just to watch big, long demos.
Wow, okay.
So you're starting to get a feel for what actually transpires at the event. Because if you just jump directly to the one thing that you want to do, and then you get sucked in like Cyberpunk 2077, everybody want to check that out. If you would have gone there first, you would have lost like 3 or 4 hours.
Damn.
And then you're sitting afterwards, like there's a bigger rush of people because then after industry's done with, that's when the gamer passes can come in. So now you've got an influx of an additional like 6,000 or 7,000 people.
Shit.
And you're like, crap, now I can't do all those other things. But at least if you get the lap first, and you're like, okay, I want to do this, 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 and this. You're like, okay, well, Cyberpunk has this long line, but I also really want to check out this thing from like Harvest Moon or MapleStory or whatever. I want to see this thing from Nintendo. That line's kind of short. There's this fighting game thing over here. Here's this stuff on Gears. Here's this other stuff. Like, you can kind of be like, okay, these are all the things that are only going to take a few minutes. Maybe they take 15 to 30 minutes. Maybe I'll do this stuff instead of waiting around just to watch this demo of a video that's already on GameSpot anyways. And plus you get a chance to see, okay, here are all the things I can get. So do I really want to sit in this line just so I can get this thing? If I go over here, I can get this other stuff instead and not have to wait as long.
This almost sounds like I hear like Disney fanatics who plan out by the minute. Like,
it's
okay,
very similar.
I'm gonna be here for 20 minutes. This has got a 40-minute wait, so we'll go here. And I don't think we got into the nitty gritty like this in the last year's E3 recap with you, but it almost sounds like you're spending more time in line than actually playing.
If you don't know how to plan your time out, you'll definitely spend more time in line than playing things. Because you're going to spend, for most games, for the big games, at minimum, you'll spend half an hour. Like if you're the very first person in line at the beginning of the day, minimum half an hour.
And how much of the game is available to play? Is because I'm imagining like, remember the old PlayStation demos? And it only had like the first level and a half.
You, for the most part, a demo won't last you. If you're lucky, it'll be like a 20 to 30 minute demo. Some games are more open ended, but normally they want to cut off everybody because otherwise they can't get through their lines. There's exceptions like Mortal Kombat. Obviously, you just get through a few matches and then you're out of there. But yeah, you're getting to play a good chunk. Like Final Fantasy VII, we got to play a good chunk of time.
Oh, that's good.
And it was amazing. Gears, we got to play Gears 5 for a while. I died first. Ann was pretty much carrying me, but that's okay.
So nothing changed.
Yeah, nothing changed at all. Yeah, that was awesome. But again, we got to play through a full match of it and get a feel for the game.
How stable are these games?
The builds are pretty stable. Like
they're not masking this as like some bug, like a test group.
It's like the old PlayStation, and they got a paperclip inside there. Like, yo, I got to switch out a boot disc to have this work.
Oh my god, I'd get so mad when we lost like the dedicated
No, this is the one.
PlayStation paperclip.
Dude, or like when you had the old school Nintendo's like, nah, that Lego waffle box is specifically to stack. Don't lose it. It's already got the creases in perfect.
Okay, so you're saying, and I didn't know that they I guess I had an idea that they separated industry and the gamer pass. And when you say gamer pass, that's like general public?
Yeah, so general public is around, I think, 250 or 300. Oh, yeah, I was like, you can't touch us mortals. But no, like, I think it's great that gamers can go to it now. Absolutely. But my stance is that if you're not from LA, don't waste the money on it. Like $250 for that pass is too much. If you're gonna go check out the rest of LA and check out this is a vacation trip for you, then might as well. But $250 because the first day you get maybe 3 or 4 hours out of the whole thing.
Okay.
So imagine you're in line for Borderlands 3, and like, okay, well 3 hours is gone. So now I got an hour left, and now you're probably just trying to figure out what to do, like walking around, like, oh wait, I think there's something, or I think there's something there. So maybe you get to play a second game, but chances are you're just going to see a bunch of stuff. Second day, you get in a little bit earlier, so you get a few. But again, you're still in that scenario. Third day, you're there the whole day. So it just depends. For me, $250 is a lot of money. So I wouldn't throw all that
But
in.
is that $250 per day?
In total. You get all 3 days.
I don't know, man. I feel like $250 for... And I feel like E3 is like for a fellow nerd, I feel like that's
well, maybe I'm just cheap.
Well, shit. I mean, we both brown, so
That's true.
no, I know where that's coming from. But I mean, I feel like if you're into video games, that might be worth going once.
Like if it's a bucket list thing.
Well, now granted, that's $250 just for the ticket. LA, I'm sure at that time everything's expensive. I'm sure there's surges on Lyfts and Ubers. I'm sure everything. Airbnbs are probably crazy pricey.
Airbnb and hotel prices definitely spike if you don't plan it in advance. They're going to go up. Like where you probably could have spent $70 a night, you're now spending close to $300 a night. But if you plan it in advance, you can get that taken care of.
So you're saying if you are absolutely dedicated to going to E3 as a bucket list item, buy the gamer. But if you can get in as an industry, that's the way to go?
Oh, God, yeah. Because normally the alternative to the gamer pass, you can buy, I think there's like $1,000 pass you can buy. And that gives you like it gives you a lot of industry perks and like 10% off merch and all this other stuff.
Cool, yeah.
But if you're industry, it's just you go for free. So you just
you just fill out the registration.
Get your credentials approved.
That's one less cost to worry about.
Yeah, one less cost. And if you've been there, once you get acclimated to going to E3 and you meet some other people, then you start understanding how the whole after party networking mixing part of it works. So at first you're like, oh my God, I'm going to spend all this money on food and drinks. It's like, if I go to like the if I go to the Mayan, like every drink's going to be $30 and da 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 da. But then like once you start getting an understanding of how it works and you have other contacts, you'll get access to tickets to things. And so like when we went to the Mayan, we had free hot dogs, even some were vegan if you wanted vegan. Cotton candy, I think pretzels, all this other stuff. We went to maybe 4 or 5 events where it was open bar and free food. We went to one that was like right next to the Airbnb, and like Lee was like, "This is normally an $80 bottle." She's like, "I'm getting this drink for free. Order it up." And I was like, "That's right, girl. That's right. You do it."
And this is all because of the industry pass.
Well, that part isn't because of the industry pass. That part is knowing how E3 works.
Okay.
And how, I guess, having connections at that point. Because, like, the first few years I went, like, I didn't know about stuff. Like, I just stumbled into stuff. Like, I would just be walking down the freaking interstate, my cell phone dying, and I'm, like, listening for music to find stuff. Or I had a few friends that I knew that was going to meet up there. I'm like, yo, Tamara, what are you guys doing tonight? Because she was, like, over at Rockstar. She's like, oh, yeah, there's this other party going on at this place. I'm like, all right, I'll meet up with you guys. And I'm like, damn it. I know I'm going to have to break dance to establish myself in here. But,
brown guy in the house.
Right. But they would be dope stuff.
Do some brown guy stuff.
I was like, hey, what's going on? They go, oh, dang, it's Jacksonville. But they would have, like, food trucks that have, like, tons of free tacos, free drinks. Well, like, I think 2 years ago, and almost all of them are, like, in abandoned warehouses or lofts or something like that. I remember one time I was like, hey, there was, like, this warehouse scenario out in the middle of nowhere. and everything. Like they got big money to go into it, and it's like VR simulate, like the AR rooms that you see now in Orlando. They had those things like 6 or 7 years ago, and like the cast of Modern Family's there on like this VR roller coaster and stuff. Everyone's just like chilling, hanging out, and I was like, "This is the life that I want." But that's the kind of stuff you don't know about it at first, because like even just finding the tickets, they'll sell out. We went to a VIP event with Snoop Dogg DJing, and the tickets for that were gone. Like they were announced in like secrecy, and then like 4 minutes they were gone.
And how did you get them?
I knew a guy that knows a guy,
which I feel like is probably the biggest benefit.
Yeah,
knowing a guy. So you're saying you learned all of this throughout your years of going to E3. You didn't YouTube this. You weren't following like an influencer that knew how to work his way.
Nah, just trial and error, and then wanting to figure it out.
Cool. To go back to as far as like the day one. So I think it's fine. You left off. You showed the team the general layout of the land. What's the rest of the day?
So then I typically say, okay, what is it that you guys want to do? They say what they want to do. I'm like, okay, let's go off. If you guys want to branch off and do your thing, do your thing. If you want to hang out with me, I'm going to go and try to like cold call a few people, hear the meetings that I've scheduled. If you want to attend, come on. And then we kind of set like a rendezvous point back up. And normally we'll go through and then we'll set up a game. Like our game, there's like, who can get the most swag? So like we'll be like, oh damn,
it's a great game.
Let's go buy Fortnite because they ain't watching. Let's take some more cookies. Last year I got like around 60 cups. This year I only got like maybe 15, but we got a ton of Borderlands masks, so that worked out. But just we have some fun, and then we figure out, okay, let's meet back up. Usually we'll do lunch. That'll probably be one of the few times we pay for food. Usually at that point people are tired and you just need to get something to eat and sit down. And then like I'll show them. So Devolver always has their own like little mini convention going on outside of E3. They've been feuding with E3 and the ESA for years. So if you go across the street in like this parking lot with all these RVs, Devolver will have their own thing. They're like their own publishing company. So all their games will be there, and it's like they always do free food like hot dogs, tacos. I forget what else they had. I think there was like a chicken sandwiches, free beer, free wine, free water, and then you go into RVs to test their games. That's how we found out about General Jousting. But stuff like that you don't know at first because you're like, I'm not going to go into this weird fenced off like area, like, and there's like you flash your badge, like, yeah, I'm here with E3. Oh yeah, come on! And, like kids are driving around on like these, I guess remote controlled coolers with like speakers in them, and like you just like pop it open a beer.
This sounds like the convention I need to go.
I know, right? And it's super chill. Like everybody's nice. Like Anne just sat down at a table. And then I came over there, and she's like, hey, me and Renzo just got free shirts for sitting here. We're like, all right, cool. And then we go inside one of the RVs because, like, oh, air conditioning's in there. And we start talking to this one guy about dogs, and somehow we get into, like, he has a game. They sell this game called Fetch. And so the first one was just a tennis ball. And that's it. That's the game of Fetch. Usually they make video games and whatnot, but like, yeah, Fetch. Now we're on Fetch 2.0, and this year it's going to be a Frisbee. And then they sell their stuff, and they donate all the money or a big portion of it to no-kill shelters. So obviously that was a natural connection for us in terms of what we do. And then we just started talking about like penises and things like that. We're like, yeah, these are GAAM kind of people. Let's go.
I was waiting on this to the surface.
But a lot of that's pretty much how it goes. Then we'll go out. We'll have a whole bunch of stuff scheduled at night. Usually we'll have like maybe 3 or 4 mixers, networking things, or like after parties to go to.
So is there after parties and mixers every night of E3? Okay. So that sounds like the end cap for day one, right? You guys went to some mixers and stuff. When does it really? I guess what's the busiest day? Is it that day one?
Day 2 is always the busiest. That's when,
and I'm assuming it's because everyone's kind of just getting there. They've arrived. Now things are really popping off.
So most of the big money events will happen day 2,
such as
like that's when the Snoop Dogg thing I think was like day 2. If there's going to be like a Facebook party or gaming event, that'll be day 2. A lot of the open bar stuff will be day 2.
Now, what about the actual conference? E3
itself?
Yeah.
So it has a stable pay. Like day 1 and 2 are both kind of the same.
Okay.
day 3 is when things like die down, because at that point it's like, okay, everybody's tired.
What day is all the big announcements and the actual trailers and all that stuff?
All that stuff happens before E3 even kicks off. Like all the pressers and whatnot, like we've seen Keanu Reeves come out and whatnot. That's before E3 happens. So like Microsoft, sometimes Sony, Ubisoft, all those, the pressers for the big game releases, that's before E3. So that happens like the Saturday through Monday, and then E3 actually starts on Tuesday.
Huh.
I know, it's weird. Everyone always thinks
Well, I mean, because you only, at least in my instance, once again, I'm not a gamer. I don't follow it as dedicated as I should, but you hear E3, and then you know it's like a weekend or a week, and then you see all these trailers and press conferences or these press runs, and you automatically associate it. But I mean, are they dropping like the Final Fantasy VII trailer and etc. during E3 or during that presser?
So they'll drop it during the presser, and then you'll be able to play it or see the trailer again or whatnot.
I guess when does it hit the news and the media and everything?
Usually during that presser.
During the presser, okay.
Sometimes, like this year, a lot of stuff was leaked. No. So almost everything was leaked this year before the pressers came out, which that was a little disappointing, which really sucks. Like we were talking to a friend who works at one of the companies, and one of the news outlets caught wind of how they were shifting development on one title to focus on 2 other new titles. And I don't want to go into what games they are because I don't want to keep that thing going.
Yeah.
But she was like, that really sucks because we had all this cool stuff planned, like promote these new things and make these big pops and get everyone excited. And because somebody wanted more, views on an article that they're probably not even really going to get, it's not going to impact their life that much more to get that additional plug. Well, my computer's did a whole bunch of weird crap.
Yeah, your house is like
it's haunted. It might be that Google kicking in again. But, stuff like that happens, and it hurts the people who are actually working on the games. Because imagine you're doing something for Shortbox and you're playing this big event, and you're like, yeah, all of these special artists are going to be here. Alex Ross is going to come through. Greg Capullo is going to come through. And then you've got like this big announcement thing. You're going to do it like at a special thing at Nighthawks. And then like a week beforehand.
You just spoiled the game.
Sorry,
you just
man.
spoiled the 300th episode.
Yeah, a week before, Drew goes like, guess what? Here's what's going on. And you're like, damn it, Drew. That's not what's up. So that stuff happens, but yeah, usually the pressers are where the big announcements happen themselves, and then at the actual trade show, that's when you get to play things, check them out. Sometimes it's the game you get to play, sometimes it's just getting to watch the trailer or see a gameplay demo.
I guess anytime I hear you going to E3, I think the presser. Then I think that you are going to sit in a chair and watch the premiere of Final Fantasy VII or the premiere of the Marvel game.
I think I could have gone to one once.
What's the qualifications to go to that?
You need to be media to go to that, and I think you also might need. I think you have to get an additional. I think you have to apply to get an invitation. Sorry, it's like out of focus over here. But yeah, you can't just like walk in the door like, yo, I'm going to check out this Square Enix presser. Like, no, you're not. Keep walking. So you've got to be media.
Okay.
Or you've got to already have like some kind of contact to apply. Like a lot of times if you contact the companies themselves, like contact Microsoft, contact Square Enix, contact Sony, and they'll usually have like a press release or a press person to contact. Be like, here's why I would like to attend this event. Here's my legitimacy. Here's what I'd be able to add in terms of value to your company by being there. That will help you get that ticket.
Exclusive.
Yeah, pretty much. One year they gave out Xboxes to everybody. I was like, damn, I should have gone that year.
Interesting. Okay. So was there a game that either you or someone on your team was highly anticipating, like playing or checking out?
Oh, definitely. There was. I'm trying to get this camera back in focus. I know you guys who are listening can't see it. So I was really excited. Obviously, Final Fantasy VII was what I really, really wanted to play and see. I think the whole team was Final Fantasy VII.
How long has that game just been put off or promised to us?
Such a long time. But, it's worth it. What they showed and what we played made it worth it. So we really lucked out because as soon as you walked in within 3 to 5 minutes of the show opening, for Final Fantasy, you have to actually get tickets to do the demo. Kind of like, here's your Fast Pass ticket. And you have to be at this time. And about 3 to 5 minutes in, we're out for the day. That's it. Like, that was it.
Like that?
That fast. And that happened last year with Capcom with Resident Evil. They had a special Resident Evil 2 kind of building and experience. Tickets were gone like that. Each day, you're like, oh, God, I just want to get tickets for this. Which, again, if you're there on the Gamer Pass, imagine going there to see Final Fantasy VII. You can't get in till like 4 hours later anyways.
I'm starting to see your point about how the Gamer Pass might not be worth it.
Yeah.
Because there's no promise you'll be able to do anything you plan.
No. Some companies, they did have extra passes when the gamers came in, when the Gamer Pass people came through. Or like Funko, they said, hey, we have additional toys coming in at so-and-such time, because that's when the next wave comes in. But Anne has a friend at Square Enix, and she was able to hook us up. And so we were like, oh, dang, they're out. And she's like, she grabs Anne and walks her over and like, I got your tickets. Anne's like, I got this. I got you. And so we got to go check out Final Fantasy VII. And that was amazing.
What was the most impressive thing about it? Aside from the graphics just looking great. Because, I mean, as a casual gaming fan, it seemed like Final Fantasy VII was the end-all, be-all. Like, it just...
It still is.
That's
like,
all I heard about. That's all I saw posted.
I can't say one thing that was like the standout, because this was literally how Final Fantasy was in your head as a child. This is what it is now. Like, Barrett and Cloud are bantering back and forth. The attack system is all... Like, when have I played a Final Fantasy game and I can actually dodge and roll and block and stuff?
I won't lie.
Like,
I'll be straight up with you, because I'm like, that Final Fantasy... The OG Final Fantasy VII has such... Like, just changed everything for me as a kid playing it. I was a little thrown off with it not being a classic role play or turn-based.
I was too at first.
Because, I mean...
I expected...
In my head...
I want to be able to walk away and make my sandwich.
In my head, that fighting engine, which resembled a lot like Kingdom... is there a name for that fighting engine?
I don't know.
Okay, well, it reminds me, of course, like Kingdom Hearts, which was like my little brother's my second little brother's game. That was his shit. And for me, it was like, nah, man, you got a 7 RPG. Take your time. Take your turn. It's tactical.
Beat Ruby, beat Emerald.
Exactly, right? Time. So at first, I was a little like, man, they gave us like this engine. I wanted like the OG. And that's just old guy like talk. But I can't front, man. Like, that trailer dropped, and it was like...
It was...
You know what else?
It plays so good, man. It plays so good.
Remember when they came out with the Final Fantasy VII movie?
Yeah.
They came out with, what's the name?
Advent Children.
Advent Children, yeah. And then Dissidia, I think, was it Dissidia?
Yeah.
The fighting game came out, and I love the graphics. Because for me, it was like, yo, that's what they look like in my head.
Yeah, exactly.
So to see them take that and like just add steroids to it, and this is what we get,
it was phenomenal. Like, I can't tell you how good it was, because you just have to experience it.
What do you think was different? Because I mean, they've demoed, well, maybe not demoed, but they've shown gameplay from that game, and it just wasn't big. Do you think the fact that we actually got a release date was the last piece that we needed to really get the hype up?
I think so, because now if they're announcing release dates, they're announcing release dates, and we're at the end of a system cycle. So you'll get... Most likely, we'll get Final Fantasy VII Remake, like Part 1 on PS4, and we'll all be like so sunk in, especially because you're only going to get the first part of it.
Please don't bring this into reality. Please don't. Like, I know where you're kind of going.
PS5 is going to come out, and to finish Final Fantasy VII Remake,
that is diabolical.
You know that's what's going to happen.
Diabolical.
Imagine how high your system's cell rate is.
Like, I'm so mad that like they probably already thought about this.
Oh yeah. They didn't plan that. That's honestly part of the reason why the game took so long. Like, we can release it now. Whoa, hold on.
And here's the thing,
we've already sold 40 million PlayStation 4s. Let's slow down a little bit.
Here's the thing. I know this now, and I'm still going to fall in the trap.
You'll be like, that's okay. I'm all right with it. And then, even if they do, like, here's the PS4 version of Final Fantasy VII, you're like, nah, I saw what's going to look like a PS5. Yeah. And it's backwards compatible, so I might as well.
So, all right. So what are some of the other games that I saw?
Gears was freaking badass. I've not played Gears in a while.
Okay.
I fell off of it, and we weren't even sure where to play it because it wasn't. So Microsoft doesn't do stuff inside of E3. They have their own space outside. They own the LA Live Center next door.
Okay.
Kind of like the town center.
Okay. So it's not too far.
No, it's not far at all. But it's like when you're looking for stuff, you're like, okay, I'm inside E3. I don't see Microsoft. So we're like literally tweeting at the people who do Gears, like, hey, where's the game? Where's this and that? And we were walking around outside, and we see the Mixer booth. Mixer's like another like streaming platform.
Okay.
This giant dome is out there. Like, okay, that looks kind of cool. Let's check that out. The line's super short. So we go in, we sit down. They do this really cheesy commercial. We're like, are we about to buy like a timeshare or something? It's like, hey, Botter, I'm streaming on Mixer. Want to co-stream with me? I sure would like to, Ryan. And we're like, oh god,
it's kind of cringy.
Yeah, like
cheesy.
we're in like this cool dome, and we're in these rocker chairs, and it's all projected. And as soon as it's over, the guy's like, thanks for watching that. We have a ton of stuff for you back here. Like, oh, you got free stuff? And so, like, they were at backpacks, they had, like, art in it. They had, like, free peanuts and nuts and pop. Like, it was a really good swag package they had there. So we got that, and, like, they walk you out. They gave you shirts. They were actually asking, what size you want. And they had, like, stuff that was cut for the ladies. Mm-hmm. And we walk out through this hallway to exit. It opens up. And, like, all these games are set up. And we're like, holy crap, there's Gears 5. Like, why didn't we know this was here? And so they're like, oh, yeah. And it's just, like, a short wait because they're doing, like, teams of 3 at a time. Like, 2 or 3 teams of 3. And they have the big-ass collector's edition statue thing. We're like, oh, that's why it's that expensive. This thing looks awesome. And played Gears, and it felt so right. Like, it just felt right. Like, escape mode is awesome. Like, imagine you, Drew, and C playing. Well, not C, because I don't even know if he has anything past the Game Boy. He's like, he doesn't like technology. But imagine.
Too much credit.
Yeah, no.
You should stop that at Atari.
So he's like, what? I can't get this to work with my abacus. But so y'all three are playing, and you're kind of like, you're the character with the ammo, so you can keep refilling it because ammo is sparse.
Yep.
And then C's like the melee person, and Drew can be the one with the shield. So it's kind of like class-based. And they're filling the rooms with poison gas. And you're looking at the map, and you see the green filling up, and you keep on trying to escape it. And all these other, like, boomers and everything else, and locusts are showing up. And you're like, Botter, I need you to pick me up. Like, no, I'm trying to find... I'm out of ammo. So, like, it's so frantic and fun. It's like, this is the game that you're going to play until, like, 2 or 3 in the morning with your friends, just, like, going ham.
You just sold me on that.
Yeah.
That sounds like a really cool co-op game. So Gears of War, we talked Final Fantasy. Since this is a comic book podcast, I gotta ask because to be straight up honest with you, I haven't told anyone this yet.
They didn't show Spawn.
I have not watched that Avengers trailer. Like most big news things. Yeah. Like it's usually social media that informs you first, or you'll see a meme. And I remember seeing like a group shot of them, and I was like, "Yo, what,
dude? It looks like someone busted out their Dreamcast boot disc and like, yo, I just made Avengers."
And all the negative feedback just started slowing me down as far as watching. I probably watched it after this interview, but how did you guys get to play that? I mean,
didn't get to play it. They had an awesome booth set up for it.
Was it Marvel or was it company?
Through Square Enix had like the Avengers headquarters thing set up, but it was like I think you had to be like media or influencer to go back and actually play it or see it or whatever was going on back there.
The fact that you just said Square, I forgot Square Enix is responsible for this, so that even makes me like even more like, what?
Well, it's like I think Square Enix is publisher, and I want to say like Crystal Dynamics or somebody else is the developer. Sure. But I mean, as bad as a response the trailer got, this is like very early. It's the first time seeing it.
To be honest, I thought maybe this might have been, some of these companies will do this kind of sneaky rollout where it's like, let's see what they think. Okay, bring it back.
Yeah.
Nope, cut that shit.
It could be that. And from what I've heard from the people who have played, I heard they liked it. So we'll see. I thought it was odd that they didn't have a Hawkeye. Like in the trailer, like there's Black Widow, there's Hulk, Captain America, Thor. But I'm like, where's Hawkeye at?
I think maybe they tried to duplicate the haircut he had in Endgame, and he just looked so terrible. They're like, yo, cut him out.
You didn't like the Mohawk Fohawk deal? You don't like the Ronin look?
Moving on. What other games?
Don't front like you didn't cry when he saw his dog.
Look. All
Jesse?
tears. All tears. Any other games that you guys got to play? And maybe not even like any of these major ones. Was there any
Dragon Ball Kakarot was really cool.
Yo,
that was really good.
Of course, I saw this on Anne's thing because she's like DBZ guru.
Anne was in charge. Almost all the media stuff of E3 you saw from GAAM was because of Anne. Because I was just like, she's like, I literally walk around. She's like, we should probably live stream soon. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. Yeah. That's a good idea. Let's do a live stream.
Kakarot's what, an RPG game? Or
it's an RPG. I would say maybe adventure RPG. Maybe kind of like
open
Zelda.
world, right?
Yeah, very open world. It was cool. You got to fight Raditz. Like you see Launch in there.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
So is it following just the life of Goku?
I essentially, yeah.
Cool.
I think it's a really cool retelling of his story up until at least the Frieza saga. I think through Frieza Saga for the first run.
And then the PS5 version will be the rest.
Probably. But it seems really cool. Like, I love Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Anything with the story of Dragon Ball, I'm going to eat it up.
Look, I didn't even dive deeper into what it was. I was like, oh, they got a game for Goku?
Yeah.
All right, you got my money.
I'm like, where's Dragon Ball Vegeta?
Now, was there any indie publishers or... and I say smaller in a positive way, but was there any other companies that you played games, or was there anyone that stood out?
Not that I can recall. So this was my bad this year. Normally I spend a lot of time in the Indie Arcade is normally at E3.
Okay.
There's typically a lot of indie publishers there as well. This year I didn't get to spend any time doing that. I'm probably going to try to follow up digitally and see who was there. Also because Sony and Microsoft weren't inside there. I think a lot of the indie devs that typically would be there weren't set up because you're there. If you're an indie, you're trying to get picked up by a publisher.
Okay.
And if like two of the biggest publishers aren't there, you're like, should I spend the money to set up? But IndieCade normally has a ton of cool stuff. Didn't get to check it out this year. I didn't get to see a lot of other games, unfortunately, because we were just tied up into stuff.
Okay.
Arcade 1-Up, they had they have a Turtles Arcade 1-Up cabinet.
I had that on the notes because I saw our boy Agent M post.
Was Ryan there?
Yeah, Ryan Penn.
Damn it. I should have hit him up.
He was there, and he's the one that I saw the news of the 1-Up arcade cabinet.
Missed out on a party. I could have found out about the Marvel party.
And then the Marvel Superheroes one.
Yeah, Marvel Super. They made like a 15-foot
Punisher, dude. It's gonna have the Punisher on there.
So again, this is them getting you. For those who don't know, this is them getting you. So they released the Marvel Superheroes cabinet with Punisher and another game, right?
Marvel Superheroes. I think Children of the Atom, Punisher.
Yeah,
but those early ones.
What game did you want on that arcade cabinet?
Oh, I wanted like Marvel's Capcom.
Exactly.
I don't think we're ever going. That is always like a special release or something.
Yeah, it'll happen. They'll probably release Marvel Superheroes.
Regardless, I'm buying it.
Oh yeah, I'll pay for that at full price, $2.99. Done. Here's my money. They'll do X-Men versus Street Fighter. Will probably be the next one.
Yeah,
and then eventually they'll drag it out to when either the next Marvel versus Capcom game comes out or some big anniversary thing, and then finally you can take the action home. Marvel versus Capcom.
I'm gonna take you.
All right. Yeah.
See, and that's the stuff that I would probably be interested in. Is like
NBA Jam's coming too.
Stop.
Yeah.
What?
I don't remember seeing it set up there, but
that's not the one where he's on
Boom
fire.
Shakalaka Laka.
Oh, is that?
I've seen pics of it, and the company talk. I don't remember seeing it at the show floor, but I know NBA Jam's coming.
Was there any other like cool, whatever thing like that, like those arcade cabinets? Was there other products that kind of caught your eye? Because I imagine because you're saying it's a trade show.
Yeah,
I don't think a lot of people realize that.
So.
That's it. The purpose of it.
The majority of the show, like almost every big publisher developer, had created these amazing set pieces, kind of like the cabinet. So, like Capcom for Monster Hunter had this humongous, I want to say, 25, 30-foot ice dragon for you to take pictures with and things like that. Final Fantasy VII, like they had their actual, like here's where you do the train station. Like You sit down, and then you're getting like video stuff from Shinra talking about here, live the life of a Shinra.
Man.
See how Mako, and then like the
Maka.
yeah, and then
Maka.
get some of that Mako.
Yo,
Whatever.
man. Oh, you bring it back, man.
But then like the rebellion takes over the actual signals, like, oh, we gotta get in here and stop this reactor, and then they took you through the train station to actually play the game. But on top of that, they had another Final Fantasy exhibit out in the main hallway in the lobby where you could actually get on like the motorcycle that Cloud's on.
That is such a clean motorcycle.
It's so mean. It's so mean. But tons of stuff. Like most of the booths put a lot of production value. Like even Dragon Ball. Like they created a giant capsule corp spaceship. Mm-hmm. They had maybe 20-foot walls that have like the fabric of actually creating the landscape of Dragon Ball. They even had like little kind of like rocks and stuff to like sit on. Like from Planet Namek and all that.
Cool.
Like people went all out. Like as much as I shouldn't talk about it, Fortnite put mad money into their setup. Like they've got stages. They had a giant bus decked out. They had fake shopping carts with neon lights. They're giving out cookies, slushy drinks, water, ice cream, banana pops. Most of the big games had some big set piece thing to go with it. Because if you're just gonna have like your game set up, people are just gonna walk by.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that's different from a lot of the other E3. First and foremost, it's a trade show. It's for business. Mm-hmm. At least that's where it started off from. Like they were having a lot of problems getting through on CES. The gaming industry wasn't recognized there, and they decided we need to do our own thing if we're going to conduct business. When it was in Atlanta, moved to LA. Now that it's in LA, a lot of these companies are already situated there, and there's all these other companies that build and construct stuff because of Hollywood. Mm-hmm. So you're going to see the biggest sets there at E3 because one, and you probably know this firsthand, you don't have to pay all that shipping. Imagine trying to ship a 30-foot dragon over to the East Coast just for like a few days, and then you got to put the thing together and hire that crew versus, all right, it's just got to come like 20 minutes down from Santa Monica Boulevard. We can set the thing up. So like, Square Enix, you can see them when you're coming off the airport. Like they're set off over there. Sony Santa Monica's there. Capcom's there. Like a lot of these companies are there in LA. So even Blizzard, not set up at E3, but they've got BlizzCon like very near to where their home office is. They'll always have these huge, amazing like statues and set pieces because when they're done with them, they get set up at Blizzard offices. They're just there. So it's a lot of grandiose stages and extra like it's lights and shine.
It's kind of like an amusement park for
it. Really is. Like if you just want to go take pictures with stuff, you'll find tons of gaming stuff to take pictures with.
So, you guys went 3 days?
3 days.
Of those
Tuesday,
3
Wednesday,
days,
Thursday.
what was the most memorable moment?
Final Fantasy 7.
Okay, playing Final Fantasy 7. And what was
Final Fantasy 7.
A moment that you wish you would have been able to redo, or there was more opportunity there, but you weren't able to particularly seize it?
Damn. A lot of missed opportunities. No, there was
Well, and why I'll let you think about that, but maybe you can answer from a business standpoint. Mm-hmm. What was the most beneficial thing for GAAM as an organization that will directly impact the GAAM fans and the GAAM people coming to GAAM?
I think long term, I can't go. There was a meeting that happened thanks to Lee that I think will hopefully push a relationship forward. So I think it'll take another probably year or two to get to where it needs to be. But I think that was probably the most impactful. And I wish I could not be so angry.
No. Look, I know you got a lot of things that you can't speak about until it's finalized, and I respect that. Was there anything that will impact August 17th's Space GAAM show?
Definitely. I think some of the stuff with Devolver, and that's one of those things where even though there's a relationship already there, that's why you need to keep watering a relationship. Because you go back like, oh yeah, hey, how are you guys doing again? Blah, blah, blah. And as the relationship grows, you can do more with them. I think they'll definitely have some stuff for us that we can have in the auction and also like to play. They have some really cool games that I think will be fun, like fun multiplayer stuff. That's definitely going to help. I think we'll probably get a few additional like VR games, like out of it, which will be great.
I'm sure a ton of freebies and giveaways.
Oh, yeah, tons of freebies. Like literally, we've got like 2 or 3 suitcases of stuff. Like we'll be giving away tons of Borderlands masks. We have Borderlands artwork. We have stuff like all those Mortal Kombat Shang Tsung coins, Bethesda bracelets. Like there's tons of swag. Like we easily have enough swag for probably like 100 or so people.
Damn, okay.
Like that's easy. Even look, like this Star Wars thing, you can't see it if you're listening. So they were giving these out when you did like a 30, like this is almost you. It was like a 30-minute to an hour wait to go watch something, and I think you had to play like a short Lego Star Wars thing. Last day they were just giving these out. So we kept walking by. Yeah, we need some more Star Wars Legos.
Is this John Boyega's character?
Yeah.
Oh.
Finn.
Yeah. Well, okay, so
yeah.
FN, yeah, damn, that's dope. That's mine now. Cool.
Yeah, you can have it there. You
You're like, yo, son, I got 500 of them.
I got plenty of them, thanks to the team.
Yeah, okay, that's legit, man. So, and we could wrap up with this question here. Well, I've got 2 extra. My apologies. Because I'm hearing you say Microsoft is on the site, but has their own thing.
Correct.
Did you say Sony had their own thing or space too?
No, so Sony pulled out completely.
Okay, Sony pulled out completely. Microsoft is doing their own thing.
EA does their own thing.
Is E3 still relevant, or will it be relevant in the next 5 years from now?
It will change. It will change.
Despite all of these Goliaths in the video game industry doing their own thing, you don't think that'll impact the long term?
It impacts it, and so here's the thing: if E3 refuses to change, then it will die. Okay, but they've already been adapting a lot to it, and I think you can see it from even though they say, okay, Sony wasn't there as E3, and by the way, the E3 is dead conversation has been going on since I started going to E3. Because E3 is still relevant. So I don't think there was any of us that wasn't talking about Keanu Reeves being on stage at Cyberpunk 2077.
You know what? I do want to take it back. Yeah. Did you have a chance to go play Cyberpunk?
No. That wait was freaking killer. And there was too many other things to do.
The power of Keanu Reeves, man.
Dude, I was like, I want to see this game.
My little brother was showing me the trailer.
I don't even think you got to play it if you went in. I think you got to see, I think you got to watch a gameplay demo.
Okay, cool.
I don't think they were letting people play
My brother showed it without any context, and I was like, oh, damn, Keanu Reeves got a new movie coming out,
right?
Bet.
Yeah.
And then it said whatever, like coming to PS4 or whatever it may be, and I was like, what? Yeah. And I was like, man, I wonder if this is a sign of things to come more down the road, where it's big name celebrities getting more. I mean, we've seen celebrities involved with video games, but
this whole time,
what's up?
I have been recording with the wrong mic. So, like, this will be, like, the worst audio ever for this live stream.
I can always send you the audio.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Underlay it.
I had it plugged into my work computer still. Like, whoops, whatever. It's too late now.
But, I mean, do you think that we're going to see more celebrities, more movie stars start being incorporated in video games or partnering up with video games?
It's the same way we've seen more movie stars get involved. Let's look at animated films, for example. How many animated films do you see now?
Well, hell, you could look at Into the Spider-Verse and look at that cast. Insane.
But, like, how often do you see an animated film that doesn't have an actual established actor in it? Like, now that's part of the game. Like, they're not going to say, here's a Bader and Ryan starring in Toy Story 5. Like, we should probably stick with Tim Allen and Tom Hanks.
But do you think it'll be a staple?
Yeah,
going forward, where it's like your game doesn't have
There's a few very notable voice actors that are very good that are established within the gaming industry itself.
Okay,
but as time progresses, that's going to become more and more like indie games. Will definitely go like the route of like, I'm gonna get a good voice actor. But like these triple budget games, they're going to get more and more. They're going to want big names to go with it because look at the pop that it got. Yeah. Look how many people get excited about Keanu Reeves showing up in a game, about Norman Reedus showing up in Death Stranding with Kojima. Like it adds, when it's the right fit, it does a lot for the game. Now when it's like the wrong person or somebody is like trapped in, God, they've done something horrible or they go to jail, then it's a bad thing. But you get the right person for the right game, and that just adds on to your sales. It's just a question of how much it costs to get the person at that point.
Now, we talked about this earlier this week, how it wasn't an IGN or a news reporter or whatever that broke the news of Final Fantasy VII. It was Square Enix itself that released the trailer or dropped whatever it was and broke the news. Do you foresee that becoming more common in the coming years, and how would that impact the journalistic aspect of E3?
So companies want control over their message. They also understand that the media does play an important role in getting the message out. But now it's more so like, here's the message we want. We've got the like, look at, say, Nintendo. Nintendo does their own Nintendo Direct. They put the video out on their YouTube channel. They control that message, and then it used to be where, like, even if you wanted to put the content back out, you would have to get assigned. You would have to apply for a Nintendo kind of like licensing agreement, or your content could be flagged. So I don't think it'll be that extreme, but it's in their best. And I know I'm going to get ripped for this because so many of us are in. Hell, even we're both in media, like to an extent, like we report on stuff and talk about things. Our value is diminishing, I think, in respect to that. I think there's more value. Us as personalities or influencers, at that point is the bigger value to these gaming companies, because they don't want you to write the greatest journalistic interpretation of something. They want to know that you can actually get the word out on the message that they want to send out.
Point.
That's at least where I see it going.
I think there's some truth to it, and I gotta sit on that a little more.
I think some people will be leaked to. Like there'll be like, let's say you've got a great relationship with DC because that's your favorite. And
DC Botter, you know what I mean?
Dang, he still signed up for 2 years of the Universe app, even though it's being canceled. So they have a good relationship with you, and one, they know that you have influence over X amount of people in this community. So they might invite you to come check something out, and then you're like, okay, yeah, you checked out the Universe app. Here's all the stuff that's coming out. They make you sign all your NDAs. It's like, all right, you can't talk about this until said such time. So on the outside, it's like, oh, dang, Botter broke this DC Universe story on this date. Like, he was one of the first people to report it. But it's like, no, like, that's what they want you to see. They gave the story to X amount of media people to be the mouthpieces to put this message out. You weren't really, again, I don't mean to offend media people by doing this or saying this. I've been in PR and media stuff too. At this point, you're an extension of the brand. Yeah. You're not reporting exclusively on your own journalistic merit and your ideas. You're locked into a contract and agreement to set forth the information that they've agreed upon.
If I'm running with what you're proposing, it's almost like either you build a loyalty with a company that's forces you someone that's trustworthy, that we can feed you these stories. We know that you'll represent us in a positive
and this
light.
is in the context of E3. To preface that, I still think there's a huge value, and a lot of people are going to report and have reviews and all that kinds of stuff. But just in terms of E3 and all that kinds of stuff.
Around this time of year, E3 still populates 99% of my feed. So I don't think it's going anywhere. And the other camp is, this is where having a personality and a very uniqueness to you, where people, regardless if a Square Enix is handling the messaging or breaking the story, people, if you're good at what you do and you have that dedicated fan base, people go to you for your personality or whatever quirk that you have. I think it's important that you double down on that, because
without a doubt,
regardless of a Square Enix or whatever is breaking the story or premiering it first, I'm still going to go to you, because I want to hear your opinion. That I know that you're not a mouthpiece. You will tell it
that there is some sincerity to what you're saying. No, I agree. I agree completely. It's just the media landscape shifting. It's like, and you've done this, so you know how it is, like running a panel. Like you do, like it's not that. Oh well, this panel, Botter's gonna ask any question. Wait, where'd everybody go? Where it's
it's
like
a
here's
lot of,
what's here's what's
I'm not
agreed
gonna say
upon.
handcuffing, but it's a lot of filters.
Yeah,
that you got to run through.
you got to stay on the rails. If you leave the rails,
exactly. You getting closer and doing more panels and getting a little more behind the scenes. I've realized, like kind of how you've emphasized the importance of a message, you know, and a brand. Even if it's like a celebrity that hasn't had any notoriety in a while, they still are very protective of, you know, what little or a lot they have. So you raised some really good points. And I want to wrap this this interview up by asking for
Final Fantasy VII.
for other groups or organizations similar to GAAM or fellow colleagues that are looking into going to E3 next year or down the line. I mean, what's some advice for them that you'd recommend, whether it's the registration process or advice whenever they do get there? I mean, what are some things that you wish you could have told, you know, E3 year one Ryan?
Definitely look into your media credentials or your credentials in general as far in advance as you can. If you go to the E3 site, it will explicitly tell you what you need for every category, whether you want to be media, whether you have a podcast, whether you're an influencer, whether you're just standard industry. It maps it out. And if you don't have all of that stuff, you now have the map. So get it. Like, figure out how to get what you want. When you actually get to E3, figure out where you're going to stay in advance. Spend the extra money to be closer. Because any money that you think you're saving by, like, oh, it's going to be a little bit further out, you're going to spend that money on Uber. It's going to be gone. You'll be going back and forth from the hotel to the convention center. Spend the extra. If it's like in another, I would say $200, $300 for you to stay 10 blocks closer, spend that money. You will be grateful for it afterwards. You don't have to spend a lot of money on food and drinks. There's plenty of opportunities for you to get cheap food, cheap drinks, if not free, even like the first time that you're going. And scour Eventbrite. And like search for hashtag E3 in the weeks leading up. Check it like really every hour. Because that's when most of the like Eventbrite stuff's easy to find. If you like Splash That, you're not going to find that. That's going to be invite only, and some of the other things are invite only. But if you're scouring, as soon as like an Eventbrite thing goes up for E3, get those tickets, and hopefully they won't cancel the event or cancel your tickets when they figure out, oh, a bunch of people got tickets to this. It'll help you slide into a lot more scenarios than you would have thought. And don't be like me and follow people down random alleys. That's like just a general life advice. Well, usually it works out, but it's just the one time it doesn't. It's a problem.
Okay.
We almost got stabbed, but it worked out.
Bonus, one last question. What do you want to see next year at E3? Is there anything that, as far as a change or a game, that you would like to see next year?
In terms of change, I want to see it at either Atlanta or New York.
Yeah, please bring it to the East Coast.
I'd like to see Sony return. Because I think it was still an awesome show without Sony. And you still felt Sony's presence because a lot of these games are on PlayStation. But there's something to having the hardware manufacturers actually there. When Sony's there and you have all the other indies that go with it. So I think especially in announcing PS5, hopefully they'll return and not go the option of keeping all of that information to themselves through PSX or something like that. But I think that would be great. I'd love to see more fast passes.
Okay.
More ice cream trucks. Ice cream truck was legit. Like
I'm all for this. I haven't been, but I'm all.
We got free ice cream for Mortal Kombat, and then we got a fast pass to go play Mortal Kombat and get your Shang Tsung coin. Shang Tsung. Actually, is this it here?
I think it's right underneath here.
Oh no, that's not it. What the hell?
Here
is
it is.
this?
Here it is.
Oh yeah, there you go. Your soul is mine, Johnny Cage. Like, this is dope. Yeah. And like if you didn't have the fast pass, you waited like an hour. But more fast passes. I'd love to see Sony come back. And I'd love to see my team return.
Damn
and
right,
go
man.
again next year. It was a good group.
Damn, Ryan, I appreciate this. I think this was a good, not only recap of E3, but hopefully some folks listening that have aspirations to go to E3 or run an organization like GAAM or do something similar. Got something from this. I appreciate going into a little more detail on the business side. I know that this year's GAM show, Space GAM, theme being space.
We're changing it. It's actually going to be X-Men Animated Adventures. We're bringing it back.
I would...
The whole
I don't know what
time.
I would do.
Gene.
You know, if you did that as a
We'd
theme
get
one year,
sued so fast.
I think the photo op opportunity has to be like, you know, that meme where it's Wolverine laying in the bed with the photo.
Yeah,
like that's got to be a photo booth area.
We would set you up with a wheelchair, and you and I would just wait for people to pause.
Which one of us is going to be? Well, you're almost a ball.
You would just have to keep every time
Yeah.
someone's picture, you'd be my watch has been
magnetized.
and I'll just be with a helmet going.
So Space GAM is August 17th.
Yep.
Folks can buy tickets on eventbrite.com by searching either GAM, GAAM, or Space GAM. I think ticket prices go up pretty soon, right?
Yeah, I think in the next week or two, ticket prices go up again. And right now, if you have a standard ticket and you subscribe to us on Patreon or support us on Patreon, I believe it's the Illuminati tier automatically upgrades you to VIP for all GAM events. And we're giving away prizes every week for our ticket holders and for people who RSVP. So even if you haven't bought your ticket yet, you're going to pay more. But you can RSVP and at least know what's going on and start winning some of all this like E3 stuff.
And as far as people following GAM on social media, hit it.
Yeah, you can follow I Love GAM on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you want to follow me and get less Gamish stuff, I'm Gam Ryan on Twitter, and I talk trash about David Morales on Instagram. But
occasionally, even though it's been lighter, like trash talk on me.
you like that Drew pick.
Yo, that
you look just like
who is that wrestler?
that. I don't know. He's with USWA.
And it's I think I know his name. I just can't think of it right now on spot, but I thought that was Drew.
I know,
and I was like, yo,
right?
he got swole. Why is Ryan got this picture of like Drew half naked?
I'm pulling the Wolverine thing with him in the picture, just hand rolling down it.
Yeah. All right, folks. So look, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll say this to the to new folks joining us and non-subscribers. Please consider subscribing to the podcast. Look on your favorite podcast app. Search for the Shortbox Podcast. Hit that subscribe button. It makes your life easier when it comes to staying up to date with our new episodes. Consider supporting us on Patreon. We have a handful of bonus episodes and unreleased interviews we haven't dropped. Just search the Shortbox there. And as far as social media, just search the Shortbox Jax. That's Jax. With that being said, folks, peace.